the purpose is attendance. Can you hear me? You need to write your
Sorry,
name
what?
in the message box for attendance. Okay?
Please, where are we going to write the name?
You have to write your name in the message box so that your attendance is taken care of. No? Ma'am, I do take their screenshots as well. So I'll share that also.
I have all that, but I need their names. Sometimes the name appears here is not their real name. So I want them to write their name.
Ha ha ha. Please follow
Okay,
the
so
instructions.
please go ahead with the academic counseling today, Sarbani.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So let us start the session. And before I start the session, I must ask you all about the homework which I gave you. Please tell me uh, who has done this and who has not. Hmm? Who has not done the homework?
For me, I missed the last session, so I don't know about the homework.
Okay, this is your first session. Leah,
Good
where are
day,
you?
Mrs. Sarbani. Good day.
Good day. How are you?
We are all doing good. We are all doing it. Thank
Good.
you.
Great. Great. Thank you. Acha, now tell me who has done my homework? No one.
Um, Actually, I haven't done it. Yes, but I've started, but I haven't done it yet. I haven't finished. I haven't finished.
Okay. Okay. Let me upload the slide first. And so, did you find any difficulty while doing the homework? Just let me know that part only. Did you find any difficulty? Any sort of difficulty?
No difficulty.
No,
They
it was
able
easy.
to, but I can see some are saying they are having some difficulties accessing the portal. Their portal where they can see the assignment. So,
Okay.
but I've shared. She has instructed me to share some of the links for them through the WhatsApp if they can reset the password because so many of us have not accessed their portal, maybe their account through the LMS portal.
Okay. But
But I
it
don't know
has.
for other if we can ask them. I don't know for others. Sure. Thank you.
Okay. I'll check it with Dr. Sriti and let you know in the next class. Okay. And as she already said, you may put it in the WhatsApp group so that your queries are answered properly. Done. So shall we start? Acha, have you
Yes.
got the book before we start? I must ask you. Actually, today's topic we have already covered in our last sessions. It will be a repetition of the same, but it will be a recapitulation of the same too. Now, the thing is that today we are going to cover block 5 and 6, and these blocks consist of five chapters, all regarding your health, hygiene, and sanitation, all these things. Okay. Now, before we start, anybody, if you can say,
No,
what
it's not
are the.
showing.
No, I have not uploaded my slide as of now. I'm just asking you all some basic questions and then I will upload my slide. Okay?
Okay.
Uh, Now tell me, uh, a disaster has occurred. Okay, this is the scenario I'm giving you. A disaster has already taken place, and now what are the things you should take care of at the primary level? Tell me this.
Please, we didn't get the question.
Disaster has taken place. Okay. Now,
Yes.
how will you take care of it? What are the steps you will initiate?
The assignment.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about assignment. You just imagine a scenario, a disaster, any sort of, whatever you feel like, earthquake, flood, drought, whatever. It has taken place. Okay. Let us fix upon anyone. What do you say? Earthquake or flood? You choose. Choose one. Choose one.
I think,
Which will
ma, I think it's earthquake.
earthquake. Okay, done.
Yes,
So,
ma, because we are the like the recently you see there is this is
2nd February. 2nd February. Yes, very good.
so
2nd February there was a.
see let's see it in detail.
Okay. Now tell me, in an earthquake situation, earthquake has taken place. Okay. Now, what are the uh, stages? What are the steps you will do just after the earthquake has taken place? Tell me. Just give me examples from your normal life. What a layman should do.
Example of.
Earthquake has taken place. Okay. Now, how you are going to react? It is all over. The shivering is over. Building collapse is done. Now you are left with the debris and injured people all around you. Okay? Now you tell me
Rescue
what
of of dead victims and
what is
those
the problem
entrapped in the
here?
building.
Just carry on. We are with you, and we are with you. We are listening.
Yes, I didn't get you.
We are listening.
Okay. I think, in my own opinion, this recent earthquake that just occurred,
Mhm.
people that are stuck inside the building that collapsed should have an emergency. Uh,
Tina, from your own experience, uh, just imagine you are also a victim of that earthquake, right? Now, what, how will you respond? What will you do? What type of help you can provide to your community, the infected community, say,
Uh,
or what kind of help do you expect from the community?
okay.
That too you have to cover up. Yes,
The number one is we have to the communications. You see, we need communication, standard communication, how to communicate with the affected people. Secondly, if there is a provision of shelters and foods, medicinal properties, they need is needed in that place. So I can offer all those support to them.
okay, good. Anything else? Anybody else?
Um, Maybe we can notify the nearest emergency. Let's say department. Any,
Emergency department means
yeah, if we can notify.
any particular department you are talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, just come up. This is a discussion forum. I'm not
Ma-
asking anything, and nor I'm going to give you any punishment for this. Just we
Okay,
are going to discuss. Yeah.
firstly, I think if there is incidence of earthquake,
Yeah.
the first thing that the affected people or area are needed is to build a small community where you keep them and serve them with your support. A small
Good.
community, then you keep,
Good.
yes, keep them in that
Good.
place where before you bring any other assistance to them.
Good. Then
Yes. Okay. Then
you
after that,
okay.
then if there is injured, if there is injured, you see they need medical attentions. Some of them they need shelters that they are going to use in that place, and others items. So that is my
What items you are talking about? What items you are talking about, dear?
like food,
Yes,
clothes.
yes.
Yes, food, clothes, and other items.
Okay.
Yes.
Means essential commodities you are talking about, right? Hello. Essential essential commodities you are talking about.
Yes, ma.
Okay, good. Then anybody else? You want to add on this? Anybody? Okay. So let us upload the slide
Add
now.
more.
Yes.
If I can add more on this is
Yes. Yes. Yes.
that it support. Maybe we try to access the people that have been affected with any effect to remove them from the robots,
Yes.
and that will help if we can use our own time, energy, strength to try to remove them from the rubbles and clear them up before the interception of the emergency team.
Yes. Done. Debris clearance and evacuation. Safe
Yeah,
evacuation.
then
Right?
we can evacuate and find ways we can be safe. And if they need any medical attention or medical treatment, we can take them to the nearest hospital that have not been affected, so they can be treated.
Hmm. Done. Thank you so much. So shall I start with this thing? This
Yeah.
whatever you so all of you mentioned, I'm going to sum up with all these things because all of you have given the correct answer. So let's start. Give me 1 second time. I'm uploading my slide.
Please, is there a deadline for the submission of the assignment?
Yeah. Yes, I gave you one assignment. No? One case study was given to all of you, and I just wanted to uh, draft a disaster preparedness plan on the basis of that scenario. But to my surprise, nobody has given me that. Very bad. Okay. I'll take this assignment tomorrow. I'll again show you this uh, picture today, and you all will notice it. And tomorrow is your another class now with me, same time. So
Oh, okay.
there you'll show me. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
What can you see? Can you see anything?
No, it's still not showing.
Can't see anything. See?
Yes, it's coming up now.
Can you see my
Screen,
presentation PPT?
the screen is sharing now.
What is that? When I, what you can see my PPT? Can you see my PPT?
Yes, I can see the whole of your screen.
Oh no. Now what can you see, please? Let me know.
Block 5
Uh,
and 6.
Block 5 and 6, right? Okay, thank
Yes.
you. So let us start. Now, block 5 and 6, as I just told you, it consists basically of 10 units, 5, 5 in each unit, each blocks. Uh, this covers basically uh,
Yes. Afternoon, sir.
the important part of our day-to-day life, living. Uh, what we need: drinking, food, water we need, food we need, proper sanitation we need clothing, we need treatment if we are ill, cleanliness. Uh, these all are the things, basic things which we require for a normal life. Okay. Now, as a disaster takes place, everything becomes cumbersome. Community health, community. There is a big threat to the community. Now, what are the losses? What we have seen as of now, that actually the community is not uh, aware what is going to happen. They are not. It is not pre-planned because today, as you all say, you have faced. Africa has faced a recent earthquake, so I'll be discussing all on the context of major of my discussion will be on context of earthquake. Okay? Now, earthquake never warn, warns us, never give us early warning before it happens, and the community gets the biggest threat. The community was not prepared. Not a single person in the community was prepared about the uh, uh, out, about the outbreak of this earthquake. Now, once it happens, what happens then? They, they are incurred with huge loss of human life, animal life, and property loss as well. Property loss here does not only consist of buildings and all. This includes agricultural fields. This includes your important community buildings, schools, hospitals, everything. Okay, and the normal life is shattered. So just go through this. I have just taken very important points in this slide so that it is a glimpse study for all of you, and going through this will help you. Disasters often occur all of a sudden and are mostly unplanned. That we all know, unintended and unexpected. Especially when we are talking about earthquake. But in case of flood, at least we can have some early warning. In case of cyclones, also storms, also we can have some early warning through the meteorological department. We all discussed on these issues in detail in our past classes, if you remember. Now, lack of adequate preparedness. Why do we actually face a sudden threat? We face this threat because we are totally unprepared of what is going to happen in a minute or two. See, I am taking your class now. Okay, you are all over here. Now, if earthquake happens, what will I do? I'll just throw my uh, laptop and go out of my house, right? Because I'm totally unprepared. I don't know what is going to happen, what will I do, how will I react, and what are the immediate steps I have to take care of. I'm nowhere. So this will happen to each and everyone who faces any calamity. So, lack of adequate preparedness or severity of disaster may lead to a huge loss of human and animal lives, injuries to people, and cattle damage, or loss of property. This also we have discussed earlier. Now, whatever be the type of natural disaster, the communities are at risk. Yes or no? The communities are at risk. Okay, so today all my students are new. Good. Abdul, only you have attended all my classes, right? Arif also. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Now, whatever be the type of natural disaster, the communities are at risk. Even when while you were giving me the example, you told me the same thing. The community are at risk because this is the basic ground level of any society, which uh, which actually faces which who become the victims, and the responders also come out from this community itself. Disasters often cause high incidence of mortality due to injuries, drowning, electro electrocution. Electrocution means you know what is electrocution? What is drowning?
Electrocution or
What
drowning?
both? What is drowning?
Um, drowning.
Getting swayed away by water. Okay.
Yes. To sink. Sink in
To
a river,
yes,
water.
exactly.
Drown in the
Sinking
water.
in water. Electrocution means
But I don't know electrocution. Maybe it's electricity.
electricity, short circuit and all this. Accident due to electric yeah, conductivity.
Okay,
Electric
that's been okay.
and morbidity due to total or partial loss of basic sanitation facilities like water supply, sewage disposal system, and food storage storages, failure of electricity, telecommunications, and even road and rail traffic. Actually, these in detail I have discussed in the last because you were all not there. I'm just telling you a glimpse. Uh, See, the road and road traffic we are talking about, the entire connectivity is hampered when there is an earthquake or there is any natural disaster because uh, they the debris and all these things uh, in the communication route they cater there, and this is actually interrupts the normal uh, connectivity through the road and all these things. This even can hamper the electric poles, uh, thus hampering telecommunications and or electricity connectivity in the locality. Apart from this, damage to civil property means collapsing of buildings and personal lives could sometimes become enormous. Now, dead cattle, pets, and wild animals add to the problems because one thing is they stings. Another is that they are the root cause of spread of any diseases, communicable diseases, or epidemics and all. It is imperative that uh, these burgeoning problems must be clearly understood, finally addressed, and prevented to the extent possible. Actually, when we today again I will show that particular picture and I will request you all to draft a disaster plan, and while disaster preparedness plan while drafting this plan you have to take all these points into consideration. So I'm just going through this. Okay. Now, all these disasters result in serious health problems for the community. What will be the uh, health problems? What type of threats you can one can face?
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah. Am I audible or there is some network issue you are finding? Am I audible properly? Hello. What type of health problems the community can face? Please tell me.
Um, if when let's communicable diseases that can be passed through air or water, it
Yeah.
can be yes.
Now, the basic thing is that in health problems, we can divide it into two parts. Okay, one is the direct threat, and the another is the indirect threat. Okay, what is the direct threat? Direct consequences of disaster on health issues. What are they? Epidemics may break down. Injuries. Firstly, injuries. When we are talking about uh, earthquake, injury may lead to fatal uh, consequences. So, injury, deaths, these are the things. Communicable diseases like vector-borne diseases, like malaria and all these things. Then your airborne, waterborne, whatever you said. Uh, these are the things. Another is that indirect cause. Indirect cause, they lead to the uh, mental disorder or the trauma. These phases of disaster, because people are not with the ready to face any disaster. It was totally unplanned and it happened all of a sudden. So uh, the impact on them is very very hard. All of a sudden they lost their near and dear ones. They are injured, seriously injured. Uh, their life is threat. If the normalcy of the life is threatened, so this has a great mental, traumatic, or rather adverse mental effect on any human. So counseling becomes a very important plays a very important role before any after any disaster. So these are the indirect health consequences. Okay, so another thing is that indirect health consequences also not only trauma management, because of non availability of water or availability of contaminated water, non availability of food supplies, disrupted sewage disposal system, overcrowding, poor environment sanitation. These are the factors which may lead to a uh, which may lead to indirect health consequences. Okay, so now let us go through direct health consequences in detail. Anyone can read? I have already explained.
Okay. Um, can I?
Yes, please.
Okay. Um, from the two parts of health consequences, let's go for the direct health consequences.
Yes.
The first one says death and injuries are a common consequences during the sudden onset of natural disaster like earthquakes and flash floods.
What is flash flood?
Flash floods, it's something like the eruption from the sea
Not
can
only
say maybe,
sea.
uh, overflowing from the nearest sea or ocean. Can we?
It is actually a flash flood, urban floods. These are all faced in the urban areas. Okay, so all of a sudden, when huge amount of water is impounded in a particular place, it results in a flash flood.
Okay.
Yeah.
It usually happens in the urban places. It
Yes. Yes.
happens.
Yes. Yes.
S- Okay.
Hmm.
So the mortality can be as high as 10% of the population at risk.
Hmm.
Then the second one, disasters can cause damage to life,
Hmm.
which depends upon many factors such as type of construction of houses, the type,
A
the time
second.
of.
1 second. Please give me 1 second. Type of construction of houses. Do you remember last time I told you what type of construction is recommended in an earthquake-prone area?
Yes, you talk of trapezoidal shape or square shape
Hmm.
houses.
Yes, yes, very good. So we must not recommend irregular shepherd house or house made of stones in earthquake-prone areas. First of all, we have to concentrate while constructing our own houses. We have to uh, consult the hazardous map. Okay. Now, if our area uh, is falling in the earthquake-prone area, or any disaster prone area, we have to see the consequences of according to the building codes. Okay, what type of threat my area is going to face, and in order to prevent it, what will be the mitigation steps, structural mitigation steps I have to follow. This we have to take into account. Now, this in case of earthquake, we have to make our um, roof, RCC, our structures, uh, earthquake resistant with light building materials so that it faces minimum or no threat while any earthquake takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah, next.
Okay.
Actually, I'm repeating in between because new students are also there, you know. Yeah,
Okay. So can I proceed? You going there?
yes, sure.
Okay. Then second one, the time of occurrence
Yes, the
and
time of
population.
occurrence. If it is in the night,
Okay.
tell me,
Oh,
if it the time of occurrence and the span of occurrence. I'm sorry, I didn't at this point. The span of occurrence also means. Let me explain this too. Time of
okay.
occurrence. Earthquake happening in the daytime will give you some space, some thinking opportunity to take care of yourself, your belongings, and your community. Okay. Now, if the same happens in the night, what will you do? You were
Nothing.
all sleeping. You were all sleeping, and all of a sudden, earthquake took place at a in a magnitude of say 7.5. It is a huge tremor, right? What you are going to
Yes.
do before understanding anything? Everything has gone to soup. Collapse. Building has been collapsed, or if the building is retrofitted, it has not collapsed. Still, the tremor is so much that you were all shattered. You don't know what is to be done. You will all come out of the of your houses. Even you will take time to like lit up your houses and take some decision whether to go out of the to understand first of all what has happened, and once you feel the consequences, you have to come out of your house and then understand
Okay.
take
Yes.
what you are supposed to do. So it will take daytime. Okay, and the span. If if continuous tremor is going on, once it is shaken, the uh, earth shook, it is okay. Again, before you take some decision, again it shook. So you will be nervous. Na? Any people will be nervous. So the span of occurrence, this is also important. Yes. and the population density. How many population? What is the population of that particular area, of that particular affected area, and how they are reacting? Uh, what type of help they are receiving from the community, from the uh, outsources. These all count into this population density. Yes, please proceed.
Okay. Um, we're on this the thoughts.
The most common,
Then the most common injuries sustained by affected population are fractures. So
yes,
usually because the building collapses on affected people, they usually sustain all these kind of injuries. Usually, mostly because buildings like the urban areas now, most of the buildings are story buildings because you find uh, s- let's say 3 4 3 story buildings. So once this kind of building collapses, it usually um, fractures people might get from the the earthquake or something, the floods, building
yes.
collapses. Do you have?
Even
We want to add?
even this fracture is a very common thing. Please, I'm interrupting you. Earthquake is
Okay.
a very sorry. Fracture is a very common thing during any earthquake, but not only during earthquake. In case of huge or heavy floods, you get incidences of fractures because huge quantity of water sways away building properties, even people, and livestock, everything. So if you are into this pool, you will be swayed by away like anything, and you are not in a position to control yourself, and fracture is a very common factor then that time, because uh, along with you, everything which are in the periphery, they are all swayed away altogether. So it will pose cut, it will pose harm, it will pose scratches on your body, and fractures may happen. Okay, then
Okay. Number 4, hemorrhages, shock.
hemorrhages. Yes.
Yes, hemorrhages, shock, lacerated wounds and bones.
Hmm.
Injuries to bone. These. What are these? Are these diseases?
Name of no, these are the name of the bones: tibia, fibula. These are the two bones over here: radius, ulna, here,
Okay.
skull. Okay, these are
Can occur
mostly affected.
more commonly. Yes. Spinal
Tibiofibula
injuries.
are the two bones in the leg, and radius ulna in your hands. Spinal
Yes, I
injuries
know them.
and yeah,
Spinal injuries from back and fractures of pelvis alone constitutes about a 12 of all injuries.
hmm.
And the fifth one says during earthquake, hospitals are cramped with patients who normally remain there for a week. That's from 1 day to 7 days. Then the
Depending
maximum
upon the
number.
intensity of the injury. Okay.
Yes, it depends on the intensity of the injury. Some is 1 day, 7 to 7 days. And the maximum number of casualties received in hospital within the first 2 days or for 24 to 48 days of the occurrence of the disaster during floods and storms. Okay,
Yeah.
are you done? Okay,
Yes,
during
I'm done.
floods and storms, mainly deaths occur due to drowning, but incidents of injuries are relatively less.
Yeah.
So, um, occurrence of drowning is based on that's flash flood or floats
Yeah. Floods,
because drowning has to
storm
do with
surge.
water.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now next. Now somebody else will study, or somebody else will read, or you. These
Okay.
are the
Somewhat you can.
indirect consequences. Anyone,
Somewhat.
anyone, or all of you are same to me.
Mr. Jafar, are you there or Jibril? Can you please take over? Yes,
Yes,
This
all right.
Jafar.
I'm
also
there.
I have already
Yes.
this also I have already explained. Only last point I'm going to explain to you.
Okay.
So the direct health consequences, indirect health consequences.
Yes.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes.
Okay. Point number one said disasters of many kind causes diseases, disabilities, and mobility in their wake. The potential for the transmission of communicable diseases increases manifold. It has been observed that transmissions of water and food-borne diseases together with vector-borne diseases like malaria occurs within 2 weeks of the disaster. This is often due to uh, focal contamination of food and water. Other
Fecal
contributory
contamination.
factors,
Fecal contamination. What is fecal
there
contamination?
is fecal. I I didn't understand the word. It's highlighted the word red. Maybe the spelling was.
No, fecal means
I don't know.
what is the meaning of fecal?
No, fecal is waste product.
Of our
Fecal
body.
contamination is waste product.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So other contributory factors are endemic level of diseases, population density, population displacement, and disruption of ongoing public health uh, programs.
Tell me one thing. We are confronting two words quite often. One is mortality, one is morbidity. What is mortality?
Modality.
Mortality.
Okay, mortality
Yeah.
are the rates of deaths
Yes. Good.
of
And
the victim.
morbidity.
Uh,
You just read this
mo-
word, no? Morbidity. Here only you read. In the last pages also we have gone through morbidity. What is morbidity?
okay, mobility. This is the transportation. Oh,
See, disasters of many kind causes diseases, disabilities, and morbidity in their wake. What is this morbidity? I'm asking you.
okay, morbidity. Don't have idea actually.
Just guess, na. I'm not going to punish you. All of you are very good.
Uh, okay, is it maybe the condition of suffering from disease?
Good, very good. Yes, it is the condition of suffering from diseases. It is called morbidity, and once it is on the verge of death or death, it is called mortality. Right? It's a very
Okay,
these are twin words, and you need to understand. Now, the last point is mental depression. Say
yes, mental depression and incidences of sexually transmitted diseases and AIDS are often reported.
Acha, why now there is a question, why do you say so? Why there is a possibility of STD and AIDS? Mental depression I just described to you, all of you. Trauma, okay. Post traumatic
Yes.
traumatic syndrome, this is one condition. Another is sexually transmitted diseases. Why? See, we in the last episode, we class sessions, we told we have to take special care of the vulnerable groups. Remember?
Yes.
No, vulnerable groups consist of whom women, children, especially girl child, and children we have to take care. Girl child we have to make uh, separate arrangements for them. Uh,
Yes.
Physically challenged people and old aged people. Okay. Now, when earthquake or any incident happens, it is not a matter of a day or two. It occurred, and now the scenario of the entire area is devastated, and un, it will keep on devastating. This devastating condition will prevail until normalcy in that particular area is built up again. It will continue prevailing. That the abnormal condition will continue prevailing over there.
Yes.
In these cases, it has been found, research has said that sexually transmitted diseases, because men, they actually take the opportunities of this weaker class, girls, children, girl child, and left alone women. They make sex with them, and uh, many cases of sexually transmitted diseases are found over here. Ah, and usually, when we will study about rehabilitation centers, we will find that it has every time it has been observed that rehabilitation center are made away from the affected place, and the uh, toilets and all these things for the women are made far away. So while going from their camp to the uh, washroom, this this passage during this passage they are they become victims of this sexual harassment and all these things. Recently, I was just attending one gender-based violence training program. That that time also they were discussing on this issue. That time also they were discussing on this issue. That this is a very important matter which we all must take care of, and we have to make provisions that uh, where we are making shelters for the victims, especially the vulnerable groups, more especially this women and girl child. Uh, we have to uh, take this thing into account. We have to make washrooms and all in a very close vicinity of this shelter, so that they they no more become any victim of they no more become victim of this type of consequences. Okay, so it's a very sad case, but it is a very regular case, and quite often NGOs are even working on this. They have seen this. Okay, now next. So common health problems and injuries during disaster. This is again a repetition of the previous things. Brain hemorrhages yeah, or any sort of hemorrhages, abdominal injuries, shock, burns, fractures, diarrhea, dysentery because of the contaminated water and all these things. Typhoid, viral hepatitis, malnutrition because of non-availability of food, respiratory diseases because if smoke or gas pipelines break down, then uh, there is chances uh, of spread of this gas, and respiratory diseases may occur. Also, it may occur because of air pollution, pneumonia, whooping cough. You know what is whooping cough? Chickenpox,
Yes,
measles, gastroenteritis, cholera, conjunctivitis, fever.
it's
There's a lot of, yes, yes,
it,
say, say. Where are you? I cannot hear you. Jafar, I cannot hear you. Somebody was saying me something. Yes.
Maybe it's network.
His network is gone, I think. Anyways, so
Yeah,
now we come to essential medical equipment and stores required. Okay.
quite.
Yes, right. Let me admit him. Okay. Now, essential medical equipment. I told you in the last, it was discussed in the last session that we need to construct, if we get some hint about any disaster, apart from earthquake we are talking about, what will we make? We will make provisions of temporary shelters for human, for vulnerable groups, for animals, and we should make provisions for uh, hospital so that the victims, the injured victims, can be mm, taken to the hospitals, nearest hospitals, uh, or the temporary hospitals within a very few span of time and can be cured so that their life is ensured. Now, in order to construct a hospital, it will be made of tent. You can understand it is a temporary hospital. What are the
Yes.
minimum uh, equipment you all require? We all carry first aid box in our car. Huh? It is a practice because if anything happens, we we need some basic things which are to be carried in the first aid box so that the initial treatment can be taken care of. Likewise, just think of some initial or essential medical equipments and medicines which may be required in any temporary shelter, medical shelter. Sorry,
So,
tell me
you said,
what are the minimum medical equipment you should carry in your temporary medical shelter?
okay, like
Well,
the syringes, needles, scissors, and all of
Thermometer, the
that.
stethoscope. You know what is a stethoscope? Sphygmomanometer. You know what is this? Oxygen masks. If you suffer from breathlessness, oxygen cylinders, first aid boxes, gloves, bandages, cotton for any cut injury to tie it up, towels, disinfectant, sterilizing equipments so that you can carry out minor operations over there. Okay.
Yes.
No wonder that's another thing.
Na gama da shi anything. Wannan ma, ai na ce
Now, what are the plan? As of now, we have gone through all these things. What are the basic requirements immediately required just after any earthquake, commencement of any disaster? Now, the thing is that most mitigation stages, I would say. What are the mitigation stage? When do we do mitigation? Tell me. Those who have attended my
when
classes before, like Joy, I could see, Abdullah, I could see. You have already attended my classes, so you you please tell me first what is mitigation stage. Ibrahim, you're also there. Say, what is mitigation? Tell me now, whatever you think, you feel like you say, just say. Sorry. Say now, what is mitigation? Tell me, Joy, what is mitigation?
Excuse me, sorry. What did you ask for?
What is mitigation?
What is mitigation?
Mm.
Mitigation to mitigate, like say, maybe to my own opinion, you can say reduce reducing of
Reduce what?
reduce. What can I say? Let me. How can I put it? Maybe to reduce. See, I've lost. Uh,
Can I say
to relieve,
something?
Yes?
if was to reduce. Maybe the lost people have shown during the pandemic or disaster.
No, Arif, I think it is not okay. Yes, Sani? Sani Musa, you wanted to say something, you raised your hand. Yes, Abdul?
Okay. Mitigation simply means the the process or the ways of catering for the disaster that occurred. Maybe the ways in which we can find a solution or reduce the ongoing disaster.
No. Mitigation basically is, uh, see, can we stop any disaster? Tell me first. Can we
Can we
stop?
what?
Can we stop
No,
any
we
disaster?
cannot.
We
We
cannot.
cannot. All we can do, we can reduce the
No, we
risk of
cannot stop.
happening,
As
Yes,
in
good,
the act
good,
but we
good,
stop
Hussein.
it.
Good, Hussein. Good. We
All
cannot
we,
stop it, but we can reduce its effect. Yes, that I wanted to hear. Thank you so much, Arif. All
okay,
of you.
thank you.
We can reduce the impact of it of any disaster.
action of reducing
Yes,
the painfulness of
yes, right, right. So that is called mitigation, and the steps we take in order to minimize any forecasted effect of any kind of disaster are incorporated in mitigation process. Okay.
yes.
Now prevention of risk. Okay. Now who is going to read? Joy, again you came and you are going off. What happened? Is there any network issue? Okay. Prevention of risk by the provision and monitoring of basic immunization. Acha, why we are talking about basic immunization here? See, if flood breaks, okay. Now there is a chance of epidemics. There is a chance of communicable diseases. There are chances of vector-borne diseases. If we are immune, if we are vaccinated, uh, we will be less affected, right? So, taking vaccination in proper stages is very essential. Prevention of epidemics.
Come, come,
Prevention of
come, come.
epidemics. You want to say anything? Prevention of epidemics by specific immunization, uh, water and food sanitation, prevention of the break of communicable diseases, prevention of mosquito and fly infestation. Achha, prevention of mosquito, what we do, common uh, yeah, adaptation for prevention of mosquito. What is that? There are two steps we
What
can avoid mosquito. Yes, eh?
ways we can?
Yes, you cannot hear.
You said two ways we can avoid mosquitoes.
Yes, any two ways to prevent mosquito bite
Is
or growth of mosquito. Yes.
by using insecticide or by using the net.
Good. Mosquito net. Then avoiding storage of water, stagnation of water. Okay, so that
Yes.
larva does not grow. eh? So we have to look into this sanitation part as well. The promotion of health by way of nutritional intervention in environmental hygienic. Promotion of health, why we are talking about. In any calamitic situation, malnutrition is a very common matter. Malnutrition may happen due to uh, non-availability of food, or even in case of overeating also malnutrition happens. But in case of calamities, there is no chance of overeating. It is only non-availability of food. Now we have to provide the victims with food which consist of proper, uh, which consists of balanced diet. We have to we have to look into the supplement of carbohydrate, uh, protein, minerals, water, drinking water, everything in their proper proportion. Maternal care. See, we have to be very much protective, very much caring for the pregnant ladies during during calamities, especially when normal life also goes on. We are very much protective about pregnant women, right? And when calamity takes place, we have to be more protective, more attentive towards the maternal care, uh, towards pregnant ladies, towards lactating ladies also, those who have just given birth to babies, infant and child care we have to take special care of. And then geriatric care as well. Geriatric care means old age people, care for the old age people. Specific treatment. See, uh, among some of the victims, you will find that they are already patient of, say, some NCD diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and all these things. Now, when any or heart diseases they are having. Now, when any calamity breaks, their condition ruins. Okay, because normal people, they are facing the calamity in a way, and they are resisting their, they're doing their best to save their life as well as the life of the near and dear ones. But the people who are having NCD diseases or some serious chronic diseases, acute diseases, they are already suffering from something. And on top of that, they are facing any disaster, any calamity. So just think of their condition. So during evacuation and rescue process, means post disaster phase, I'm talking about now at this moment, you have to be very careful about these type of victims, whether they are whether any of those victims are much injured or much, they are under the debris, or they are very much, they are highly affected because of this disaster. They have to be primarily taken care of, and they have to be segregated, and proper treatment must be provided to them so that they can survive well. What is medical rehabilitation anyway? Any idea? First, you tell me rehabilitation, because I have already described to you what is rehabilitation. Please let me know what is rehabilitation, what you understand by rehabilitation. Hello. What is rehabilitation? Joy and Sani Musa. Others left. You want to break up because of prayer? Please let me know.
Sorry, ma'am, I have a little network issue,
Okay,
and any moment from now, my phone is going
okay,
to be off. I have little light issues as well. So,
okay. You have followed the class, Joy? Sani Musa? Zafar, there was some network issue. Now tell me, what do you understand by rehabilitation? Yes, Sani, you're raising your hand. You can say. Yes, Sunny,
Yes,
you
can
want
you
to
hear
say
me?
some? Yes, Sunny, what is rehabilitation?
Uh, Rehabilitation, to my understanding, can be defined as returning returning to normal activities, like when something bad happens. So when we say rehabilitation, we are talking about to return that something back to normal activities that it was before.
Yes, good. So, if we and in order to get back to normal activity, what we have to do, we have to provide with the mm, uh, we have to provide with proper shelter, provide food, um, mm, uh, and other essential commodities to all the victims, so that they can come back to the normal life.
Yes.
Now, rehabilitation can be done in three ways. Okay, one is structural rehabilitation. Zafar, you want to say something? You have raised your hand. Jafar Shuaib, you want to say something? You have raised your hand, or shall I continue? Okay. Now, basically, rehabilitation are of three types. One is structure. Basically, we classify them into two types initially: structural rehabilitation, non-structural rehabilitation. Now, non what is structural rehabilitation? Structural rehabilitation includes building up of or constructing their building, their property, an entire village, etc. And non-structural rehabilitation includes uh, psychological counseling, medical rehabilitation, amputation, providing amputation. Uh, all these things comes under medical rehabilitation. Holisani left. Now, disposal of the dead. Uh, this also I have discussed in the last class. Uh, while disposal of the dead, we have to take special care, because this is a very sensitive uh, task. Now, last time also I asked you, shall we provide with all the cremation norms while doing this disposal, and where this disposal will be done, how this disposal will be done, what type of care we have to take care, we have to count down while disposal of these dead bodies. Sani, you are only there. Please say from your experience or from your ideas, uh, how can we dead bodies disposed of? Dead bodies may be of human or of animals also as well.
Okay. Yes, I think it's on this issue.
Yes.
Uh, Only the relevant authorities are supposed to be there to carry out this kind of tax, because dealing with dead bodies and other such kind of things, you mostly used to come with some medical issues. So only experts are supposed to be there so that they can pick up the dead bodies, and if they are to be buried in ground, so they are the one that are supposed to be bury them so that they can clean up all the problems that might come up as a result of uh, the disease which may be attached to the dead bodies.
Yes, good. You were going good then. The thing is that we cannot follow all the cremation rules while doing this to dispose of uh, dead bodies in any after any disaster. But since it is a mass one, what we have to do in a place far away from the affected area, uh, we have to create a ditch, and we depending upon the number of dead bodies, we have to create the ditch, and we have to bury all them in that one, and apply quick lime to the entire area and bury it properly. We have to make proper burial center for animals,
Yes.
cows,
Okay.
because these they steam and this may further mix into the uh, soil in further future in future times and uh, may affect agriculture or production and mix up with the soil and uh, because these are all biodegradable, you know. So we have to take care of that all, you know, as well. That no hamper is posed in future. And we cannot follow the cremation rules because it is a mass casualty takes place. Now, emergency health operations. What are the emergency health operations? First and foremost, as you all said, it is rescue. We have to evacuate the community. Community has to evacuate. Somebody is in your behind, yeah, background. Sunny,
Yes.
just ask them to stop, or you just keep your yeah, mic mute. Whenever you speak, you just open it. Okay, you just unmute.
Okay.
Emergency health operations. First, we come with rescue. Rescue operation is very important because uh, we need to first of all we need to find out the people of whom we all know who are residing with us. We are who are residing in our community and whom we know. We we must count them in family and see whether they are all rescued or not. If they are not, if we cannot find anyone, we have to find them under the debris because either dead or alive, we have to uh, track the victim. We have to get him, dead or alive. So evacuation has to be done at the foremost place, and for this, rescue is the important event we have to conduct. Rescue may be necessary when the individuals are trapped under the ruins of collapsed buildings, buried under mud or landslides, because usually in case of uh, earthquake, As well as in case of cyclone and flood, we get incidents of landslides. Okay, loose lands, they they also break, they come down. Rock fall, rock slides, these are also very common incident in hilly areas, mountainous areas during earthquake or flood. So rescue may be necessary when the individuals are trapped under the ruins of collapsed buildings, buried under mud or landslide, cut off due to flood. Uh, they have been swayed away. That's why they are cut off from that particular area. Damage or to communication routes. That area, once upon a time, it was a single area, and because of this, no more. Because of this disaster, the entire area has been detached from um, the community. So people who were together once upon a time, they are swayed away and detached. And so this is you have to rescue them as well. You have to ensure that them that whether dead or alive, you are together. The rescue parties must observe the following rules. What are the rules we have to take care of? Do not trample over ruins because we have to be very secured. We cannot tumble down. We cannot. Uh, we have to be very decent in our moves and motions, so that further damages to the nature and due to the nature to us does not happen. Do not remove rubble. This point Arif also mentioned. We should not. We should be very careful while removing rubbles and debris, because any person who is collapsed under any building or structure may get harm because of uh, haphazard movement or haphazard removal of rubbles. Use manual method of removing the rubbles.
Suddenly there is no one, no student is there.
हाँ, अब क्या what to do? Actually, there is no network issues, because they are coming and going off.
Okay. There might be, you can finish it now because there's no one, so how can we process? You can continue it tomorrow.
Okay. So shall I
Is
stop? Or is
someone
Sunny,
joining?
this is happening only, no? Sunny came. What happened, Sunny?
Okay.
Network issue? Sunny,
Okay.
what was that? Network issue?
Yes, the issue has been resolved now.
It
Um,
has been resolved now? Okay. Done.
yes,
In which country you are, Sunny? Sunny, you belong to which country? Can you please tell me?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, and I think most of the learners are from Nigeria and there is the network issue.
Yes.
Eh, I think that is the problem. Most of the people are not joining now.
Hmm.
Okay. So I request Sarbani, you please complete this session. Uh,
Uh,
and but today evening I'll send recordings if possible.
Okay.
If Sunny is there, you can continue later on. Or what do you say, Sunny? We continue tomorrow?
Yes, I think tomorrow will be better so that
Okay.
other people will be around by that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can come today, and I hope you will be able to join on time tomorrow,
Yes.
so that the this remaining part will be concluded and rest of the part also. So you can
Mhm.
conclude it right now.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Sunny. Thank you,
Thank
Sata.
you. All
Thank
right.
you, ma'am.
You have
So let me just finish with these 2 points. The thing is that manual method of removing the rubble is most encouraged, because if uh, you are opting for any machinery, means any technique, machinery techniques, then it will not understand whether any person or any children, any child or any animal, anything is stuck under this debris. So we should always opt for our manual methods using spade and all this. We must be very careful while using spades, axes, so that if any person they are trapped underneath gas or water pipes or high voltage electric cables, we can safely remove them. We will try our best to remove them safely, evacuate them safely from that place, and rescue them to some other place. Okay. Now, first aid also I have discussed that time. We will be discussing in detail in the uh, next class. What do you say, Sunny? Okay. Even Sunny has also gone. Such a network issue. My God. So let me stop here. We'll continue next time.